is it's Easter Monday. I've just been down to the garden, but it is quite a windy day today, so there was no point recording anything whilst I was there, because all that would have come across on the microphone would be the kind of sound when the wind blows across the microphone. If there is some very clever thing I can do to stop that, I will try and work it out, but at the moment I'm sticking inside where I know I can be heard, and also where I am less afraid to talk loudly and clearly, because I'm not going to have the neighbours in the next door garden looking at me going, what the freak is she on about? So, yeah, didn't do much today, yesterday even. This morning I woke up, I think about 5 o'clock, 5:30, which for me is ridiculously early. But I was feeling hungry and headachy, so I got up, had something to eat, had some paracetamol, then went back to bed afterwards and fell asleep, and I think I woke up about 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, had second breakfast. Both times I was making food, there was a bird outside in the garden that sounded like it was singing Green Army, Green Army, but of course it had stopped before I had the chance to get my phone out to record it. But if I hear it, I will try and get hold of it. We also have a very, very insistent great tit in the garden. They're but those are the ones that the call goes, or some variation of that. That's a really easy one to recognise. That one I can do. So, yeah, that's this morning. James has gone off shopping because his 7 days of quarantine is now up. He has got a list of things to buy. For some reason, when I put Easter eggs on the list, he interpreted that as fresh hen's eggs. So I had to make it clear that this was chocolate Easter eggs. If there are any still available, I don't know. Yeah, so he had a lie in as well, because bank holiday weekend, what can you do? So that's what that is for this morning. If you can hear that clicking sound, that's our sunflower, who's called Brains. She's from... No, she's not. She is named after the Plants vs. Zombies game, which, as the name suggests, is a war of plants versus zombies. The setup of the game is you have your lawn, the zombies are trying to invade, and you have to buy and plant a whole load of plants to stop them getting into your house. But because the zombies are after brains, that's why we call the sunflower Brains. It made sense in our heads. It's one of the... Maybe it's just... anyway. I have been thinking about my knitting at the moment and what I want to knit. Do I want to start something new? Yes. Do I want to knit myself a garment? Yes. Do I know which garment I want to knit? Nah. Do I have the concentration and motivation to actually start it and get it completed whilst in quarantine? Nah. So yes, there is a German proverb. So you can see the way my mind works. I'm just like, whoo, 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 off in all the directions. There is a German proverb, idiom, that's the word I'm looking for. Wie ein Katze herumbreit zu laufen, which means to go round puree like a cat. I've been trying to check online for the correct German spelling of this idiom, but I cannot find any website that references it. I can find the idiom den heißen Brei herumreden, literally to talk around the hot mash, which also means to beat around the bush. So when I was doing German A-level, we were told that was translated as to go like a cat round porridge. We all had images of a big bowl of porridge and a cat racing around and round and round the rim. But it's actually the German version of to beat around the bush. So the idea is that you have the cat who wants to eat this bowl of puree, but it's too hot. So she tries one corner, it's like, no, that's too hot. And she tries another corner, it's like, no, that's too hot. And she spends so much time going round and round and round the bowl trying to find where the puree is cold enough or cool enough to start eating that she never actually gets around to starting eating. So she's just, no, too hot. No, too hot. No, too hot. And that's kind of what I'm doing with my knitting. It's like, yeah, no. But that's it. No. But actually, so something will come out of it. I have no idea what. I do want to finish off the 2 sock projects I have. Actually, 3 sock projects. 4 sock projects. I have 4 separate sock projects that all need to be finished off. All of them are at the heel stage. And that will require concentration. So yes, I need to find some point where I have the concentration to do that. And I would like to get at least a couple of pairs of those finished before I cast on a new pair. Socks are really nice and easy because they're just garter stitch and you just go round and round and round and it's fine. But I don't have any more needles for any more socks at the moment. So that should happen at some point. I also have my green lace shawl. I've done all of the straight stockingette bit, which was I did in 2016, January 2016, over the new year. And I think I've done 1 row, maybe 2 rows of the lace pattern, and then that's it. That's where I stopped. So that needs to be resurrected. But it seems the perfect time to be getting through my stash, and I'm not. And it's one of those things that, again, it is what it is. I understand why my brain is not playing ball, but it's really frustrating because I feel I should be doing something in this time at home. I was talking about cats earlier. We've also had what we think is a bit of a cat turf war in our garden. So at the bottom of our garden is the next door neighbour's garden, and they have a shed which we can't see because of a tree that they've got in the way. But earlier on today, there was a lot of very definite feline screeching coming from the vicinity of that shed roof. And James said he saw a flash of black and white, which we think is one of the neighbour's cats, Mischief. We think he's called Mischief. So yes, when James went off to the supermarket, he then saw the same black and white cat strolling up our driveway as if he owned it. So we think it could have been a turf war between 2 different cats as to who is taking over the territory that was occupied by Mew. Possibly an argument about who now owns our back garden. But from James's description, the cat, which we believe is called Mischief, was sort of wandering up and looking at him, and then sort of realised that James was not going to be coming in, and his response was like, yeah, hey, oh. So yes, this may be the next cat who's ready to adopt us. I mean, over the weekend, Saturday I think it was, the next door neighbours, or the downstairs neighbours who have the front garden of our flat, somebody was doing some mowing, and I saw Mischief walking up our driveway, tail in the air, and I wanted to go racing out and say, hey, hello cat, I'll be your friend. Because when cats have their tail in the air, that's the indication they want to talk to you and they're being sociable. But then I realised that rushing out onto our driveway in my pyjamas whilst downstairs were mowing their front lawn just to grab a cat that didn't actually belong to us possibly wasn't a good move. So I didn't. But we still have cat food left over. We still have toys. We need to adopt another cat. Sorry, have another cat to adopt us. And that's it for cat news. Microwave, and apparently the first lesson is that it has a child lock. So am I supposed to open the door?
Yeah, then it'll...
That button?
Yeah. Very simple. If you want to microwave something for a minute, just press 1.
And apparently when the little red button disappears...
No, another red light comes on.
Oh, another red light comes on when the child lock goes on. Yay, it's locked. New microwave means I can finally eat my Christmas pudding. James doesn't like it, so I'm on my own. But the cooking instructions were either microwave, steam or boil. And given the amount of time it took to either steam or boil, bother that for a lark. So yeah. New microwave means I can finally eat my Christmas pudding. James doesn't like it, so I'm on my own. But the cooking instructions were either microwave, steam or boil. And given the amount of time it took to either steam or boil, bother that for a lark. So yeah, post-Easter Christmas pudding, as you know.